Well, hello everyone. How you doing? Today we're going to talk real quick about subtraction on a number line. So we're going to be using some multi-digit numbers. Again, remember multi-digit meaning digit or numbers that have more than one digit. So this is a two-digit number that we're looking at, 53. Right, two digits, and this is a two-digit number, 28. So we're going to be taking multi-digit numbers. We're going to be subtracting them. We're going to use a number line in order to help us find the difference. Key vocabulary word, difference, meaning the answer to a subtraction problem. We're going to do that in 3 steps. As always, we really like to use these steps to help us think about it. So we're going to make a number line. We're going to label it. We're going to show you what that looks like real soon here. You're going to make your jumps and your hops. So if you remember from all that amazing work that you did last year with what we mean by jumps and hops, and then you're going to add your jumps and hops together to get your final answer. Okay, so let's kind of dive into that. Before we go, let us go ahead and review those jumps and hops. Remember, when working on a number line, when we think about hops, right, when we're taking little hops, like little tiny hops, that's the idea that we're really just moving by ones. So we're just hopping along. So maybe we take 3 hops, that would be 1, 2, 3, so it would be 3. And when we're talking about jumps, that's when we're making these leaps in groups of 10. So we're counting by 10s when we take our jumps. So let's take that into this work now and kind of look at 53 minus 28. So let's look at our next page. So here we go. We're going to go 53. We are taking 28 away, and we want to find our answer. So here's our equation. Remember that key vocabulary word, equation. And now we're going to go ahead and think about our steps again. So step 1, I'm going to make that number line, right? So we're going to make the number line, and we're going to label it. That's key. Shorthand with my notes. So let's do that. So I'm going to go ahead and take my number line. I'm going to build it out. And by labeling it, what that really means is we're going to think about what we're starting with, that first number, 53. And that's kind of the end point of our number line. So here's my 53 down here. And my starting point is 28. That's what I'm taking away, right? I'm looking for the difference between these numbers. Like, what's the space that happens in between them? All right, so now let's go ahead and do our jumps and our hops. I'll squeeze this in here. J and H, our jumps and our hops. So if I think about where I'm starting with 28, I'm going to go ahead and think, how do I get to 10s, right? Because it's really nice to be able to count by 10s and work with 10s. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? So I'm going to take a couple of hops right now. I'm going to hop from 28 to 29, and then I'm going to hop from 29 to 30. So here's 30, and I made 2 hops. So I know that's plus 2 because I did 2, 28 to 29, 29 to 30, right? I did 2 hops. Now that I'm at 30, the cool thing is I'm going to start doing these big jumps, right? I'm going to jump by 10s. So I'm going to go from 30, and I'm going to jump, and that gets me to 40. And I know that that's a space of 10, right? So I'm labeling that. So again, I did 2 hops and 1 jump. And now let's do another jump and get us right there to 50. So that's plus 10 again. And now if I was to do another jump, right, I'd go to 60. I'd go too far. So we're going to go back to hopping. So let's go ahead and go from 50 to 51, and from 51 to 52, and 52 to 53. I've done it. So that was 1, 2, 3 hops. Okay. So again, we built our number line. Then we did our jumps and our hops. That's J and H right here for my shorthanded notes. And then step 3 told us we were just going to take our jumps and our hops, and we're actually going to add them together, which I know sounds crazy. We're going to add our numbers to find our subtraction problem. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to count how many times we had to jump or hop to get out there. So I see here I have 2. Oh, excuse me. I don't need 2. And I'm adding that to a 10. And I'm adding that to my other 10, my other jump. And then I have 3 hops at the end. So if I'm going to add these numbers together, I'm going to use my doubles facts first. I see that right here, 10 plus 10, that's a 20. So then I have 2 plus 20 plus 3. And I do see then if I say 20 plus 2, I could count up. right? I could use a count up method, so 20, 21, 22, plus 3 more, so 22, 23, 24, 25, and that's going to get me my answer, right? So again, I made this number line, I did my hops and my jumps, I added my hops and my jumps together, and that actually gets me the answer. So when I take, let's put that over here, let's change the color so it sticks out. I didn't use this color yet. I take 53 and I subtract 28, I'm going to get myself 25. So this is one way that we can use that number line. So let's try another one, right? As always, let's play around and do another one real quick and see how this works. Again, thinking of our steps. I'm going to take 72 and I'm going to subtract 59. Okay, so again, here's our equation. We don't know what the answer is yet, but we got this. We're going to work on it through our steps. So step one, we're going to create and label our number line. So let's see, I'll move this down a little bit. My number line. So I'm ending at 72 on my number line, which I know can be confusing because that's actually the first number in my equation. And I'm going to start at 59. Okay, now let's do our hops and our jumps. I notice we're at 59, so I'm actually only going to have to do one more hop. I'm going to do one hop, and that's going to get me to 60. Okay, so there's one hop. And now I'm going to go and I'm going to make my jumps. So let's do a jump from 60 to 70. Oh, look at this. Wait. This is what I love about learning in math. I realized in all that I've kind of made my hops and my jumps kind of small on this, right? I can build this big number line, but this was 70. I realized that this looks really far just to do two little hops. So I'm going to revise my thinking, right? I'm going to be like, oh, wait a minute. I can actually make my hops and my jumps look a little bit bigger in all reality. So let's go ahead and revise that. And that's what mathematicians do all the time. So boom. All right. So again, I'm gonna do a hop, but this time I can make my hop look a little bit bigger. Like here's just my one step. And this is 60. And that will help me label it as well. And now we're gonna do like a really big jump of 10. Will get me to 70. So that was plus 10. And then if I'm at 70 and I'm going to 72, it looks like I'm back to doing some hops. So I'm gonna go boom to 71 and then boom to 72. So that was plus 2 hops, right? 71, 72. So that was 2 hops. Okay, so now that makes sense. Like notice how I use my number line more efficiently. I really thought about the spacing in it. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my jumps and my hops, and I'm going to add those together. So we have 10 plus 2 plus 1. So here's adding 10. So 10 plus 2, that's just going to give me 12. Plus 1 more is 13. And this is actually my difference. That's actually my answer to a subtraction problem. So when I take 72, I'll write it right here, 72, and I subtract 59, I get 13. So this, again, is how we do our subtraction on a number line. I'm going to go ahead and encourage you to practice this and try this skill. It's a really great technique. Always ask questions if you have them, right? Remember that norm. Remember that math norm. Ask questions until things make sense. And also remember the math norm that we do our best learning when we're making mistakes, right? Try things out, see if they work. And if they do, great. If they don't, great. We'll find another way for them to work. That is the whole purpose around our math. So again, thanks for your hard work. And we look forward to seeing your subtraction on a number line.